Hey, Exodus 1, aka Trigger Ranking. Might just do something. Put some things together. Let's see.
I just got my husband, you guys.
Welcome to Star Spill, where Hollywood secrets unravel, scandals explode, and drama never sleeps. So before we dive in, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the latest news. Let's get started. For months, Loose Cannon couldn't keep his mouth shut. He was out here doing interviews, airing out street dealings like it was nothing.
When they raided my houses and my property, it was actually about whack. Whack, Loose Cannon, 600, and it's internet stuff.
Everybody could see it coming. It was only a matter of time before the feds came knocking. And when his wife dropped that video, boom, game over.
I just got my husband, you guys.
But the real shocker, the charges. They're way deeper than folks expected. Loose was mixed up in stuff only the streets and the feds were whispering about. Now that the public knows, everyone's saying it's a wrap for him. Even Big U, the dude being called the mastermind behind extortion in LA and the rumored murder of a rising rapper. He's pointing fingers straight at Loose Cannon, blaming him for dragging the Rollin' 60s Crips into chaos. The online drama? Off the rails. Here's how it went down. On March 19th,
That's how you know that it was everything was supposed to be planned and put in place for what it was supposed to be. That whole no jumper thing, man, like you can't look at that and be like, oh, they didn't just, you know what I'm saying? Put everything. There was a plan. The thing called was what they call big U, what they call big U, big draws, big draws. They got little draws, they got tiny draws, but yeah.
a video showing Loose Cannon getting arrested started blowing up online. The clip, posted to No Jumper's X page, was filmed by a woman claiming to be his wife, Charisse Mills, sounding panicked, watching the whole thing unfold. This wasn't even the first time cops had shown up. Just a week before, Charisse had posted
That's my ex-girlfriend name, Charisse. That's funny, yo.
footage showing their home being raided. She said she couldn't even get inside.
Oh my god, you guys. The entire block.
So I think this one right here,
Let me come home.
when she did this one, well, I ain't gonna say that. I let her ride.
We have an entire police force outside.
According to her, Loose was inside the whole time during the raid. Here's the weird part. He didn't get arrested then. It's wild, right? He gets raided, nothing happens.
My husband is home. I'm just praying that he's okay.
So I really do think that this one right here, when she was talking, I think this right here was like basically the first one where it was almost like a skit.
They won't let me through.
Then a week later,
Him and
he's
his
cuffed
wife,
up.
Loose
Well,
Cannon.
turns out the first time was a swatting. Some anonymous caller told the cops he was holding someone hostage, sent the whole squad out for nothing.
Nah, they said somebody swatted them. That's what it was. Somebody swatted.
So here's what went down. According to Loose Cannon, his wife and her mom had just stepped out for
Hey, rest in peace, Scooter, y'all. That's how Scooter got somebody, a female called the cops to their house, and he went to running and ended up, unalive, man. Rest in peace, Scooter.
quick Starbucks run. But when they came back, they walked straight into a scene out of a movie, cops swarming their apartment complex. Inside, Luce was chilling with his 6-year-old son.
I'm inside with my son, right? He's 6 months. So her and her mom went to Starbucks to go and get something. So when they come back, she see all the cones and everything around there, right? So she called me. She was like, "They not letting him on the block. They saying it's a hostage situation."
His wife hit him up fast, warning that cops were posted outside. That's when he told her to start filming and drop the footage online, just in case things turned deadly.
I said, "Ask her what house," and she went to go ask, and then they was like, "Oh, baby, they talking about our house." She know I don't have nobody kidnapped. She just left me 10, 15 minutes ago, right? So I told her, talk to her. I said, "But film it, just in case I come out the house and they shoot me."
But here's the thing, Luce is a
Yeah, hey. This rough right here, bro. This rough right here, dog. This rough.
Hey, come on. We got
Oh shit! Damn, hold on, man. Hold on. I done fucked the whole live up. Give me a second, y'all.
Hey boy, Corty.
It looks like
a known Rollins 60 Crip in his place, loaded with illegal stuff. So when a negotiator pulled up, he stalled for time and started hiding anything that could land him in serious trouble.
Negotiator came and was trying to talk to me, so I got stuff in the house. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what a real hood dude is hiding and stashing everything, right?
Eventually, he got cuffed and stuffed in the back of a squad car while cops tore through.
Why would you say I got stuff in the house? Like, I'm just gonna be real with y'all. Why would you say I got stuff in the house, nigga? You dig? Come on, man.
House looking for supposed hostages.
The lady, she was like, "Oh, we just want you to come with your hands up." So I took off my shirt, walked with my baby in the arms, put my hands up, walked back or whatever. She took the baby, they handcuffed me, put me in a car, and they was like, "We're gonna just check and see if it's a hostage situation. If it's not or whatever, then we'll let you go." And that's what happened.
But that was just the beginning. 1 week later, Luce Cannon was back in cuffs, this time for real, for something way bigger, a RICO charge. The feds called it Operation Drawdown.
RICO. Hey, y'all heard
On
what
March
she said?
25th,
RICO
Luce Cannon,
charge.
Brick Baby, Big U, and 16...
A RICO. That's how you know AI talking. They like AI, like that's like certain things with AI, you could tell it hasn't harnessed or honed into the human like speaking of language. It can talk now. It could talk good. But like that right there, a RICO charge.
Other Rollins 60s affiliates got rounded up under a massive federal indictment for racketeering. And the stuff in that indictment, straight up insane. If even half of it sticks, these dudes are facing serious prison time, like big Meech level numbers. We're talking everything from murder to trafficking and heavy fraud. These weren't just gang guys. Prosecutors say they were full-blown street terrorists.
Today, we're here to announce federal criminal charges against Eugene Henley Jr., a career criminal known as Big U, who used his contacts and leadership role in the Crips criminal street gang, the entertainment industry, and a youth charity to further his own criminal enterprise.
The allegations in the complaint unsealed today reveal a criminal enterprise that engaged in murder, extortion, human trafficking, and fraud, all led by a supposed anti-gang activist and purported music entrepreneur who was nothing more than a violent street criminal, said acting U.S. Attorney Joseph McNally. What's wild is that Big U, the guy sitting at the top of it all, was running the oldest hustle in the game, hiding in plain sight. The Fed said this man and his crew had been skating by for way too long, getting away with violence while pretending to be cleaned up community leaders. They were out here pocketing money from taxpayers and kind-hearted donors, using scare tactics and fake OG turned mentor stories to cover their tracks. That's straight from the FBI's Los Angeles field office. But the murder tied to Big U, that's where things get real grim. It involved a young rapper he was supposedly mentoring, whose body was found dumped in the desert back in January 2021. That rapper was 21-year-old Rayshawn Williams.
Yeah, Rayshawn Williams. He put out a diss track right before he got unalived, and the things that he said in the diss track happened to him. So, you know.
Dude had dreams and he thought he got his big break when an indie label called Unique Music flew him out to Vegas. The plan? A full week in the studio making 1 track a day, with Big U backing the whole thing. Big U had even coached him in football growing up. But what was meant to be a career-changing trip turned into a nightmare. Just 5 days before he died, Williams laid down a diss track. Rumor says it was aimed at Big U. After that, things started going left. Even though Unique Music paid for his flight and put him up in an Airbnb, the rapper started missing studio time. The FBI says it was because he didn't have a ride, but Big U saw it as straight up disrespect. To him, Williams was making him look bad after he vouched for him. That disrespect? Big U wasn't letting it slide. So he and his right-hand man, Demetrius Meach Robinson, hopped in a dark gray Lexus and drove 4 hours from LA to Vegas to confront him. According to the feds, the diss lyrics and the missed sessions sparked serious tension. On January 24th, around 7 p.m., Big U pulled up to the studio. Williams showed up later and kept recording until midnight. By 12:30 a.m., Big U had bounced and so had the Lexus. Witnesses clocked it. The same ride they came in had vanished into the night. Here's where things take a dark, twisted turn. Big U's phone suddenly stopped sharing GPS data around 1 a.m. and didn't start pinging again until 2:15.
So the time you left your phone, you basically had that time in between. It was a gap in between the time that your phone was pinging. So after you did the murder, came back, that's when you was pinging.
a.m. But at 1:13 a.m., surveillance from Rayshawn Williams' Airbnb caught a dark gray or silver sedan pulling up. Williams stepped out the passenger side, went inside, and came back out with his suitcase. That move didn't make sense. He wasn't due to check out until the next day, and his flight wasn't until then either. Something was off, and it looked like he felt it too. Then at 3 a.m., Big U returned to the studio, but this time he was alone. Witnesses later told investigators that he was soaked, either in sweat or something else. When someone asked, Big U claimed he'd just come back from the gym, but that excuse didn't sit right. Hours later, at 9 a.m. on January 25th, Rayshawn Williams' body was found in a ditch near a Vegas landfill. He had been shot in the face, execution style, with what investigators believed was a revolver, a gun that doesn't leave shell casings behind. After the murder, investigators say Big U made some shady moves. He ordered all the studio equipment to be taken out.
So in the diss track that he rapped towards Big U, he said they would probably shoot him in the face with a revolver, cause like revolvers, the shells or whatever, they don't like when the shells drop or whatever. When the shells drop, like it's no evidence or whatever. Especially if you wipe the bullets off and then put them in. You know what I'm saying? Like it's no you can't trace it back to anything.
And had the surveillance footage deleted. Footage that may have shown him and Williams leaving together that night. When cops tested DNA from Williams' body against Big U's, the results came back inconclusive. But they're not ruling him out. And it doesn't stop there. Big U and the Rollin 60s Crips are being linked to a whole stack of crimes, with 19 members already locked up. Even more secrets are pouring out about what they were doing in the streets. But here's the wild twist. Loose Cannon is out here saying he's innocent. His wife told Adam 22 that Loose is chillin' and confident he'll walk free, claiming all the charges are just talk with no real witnesses.
Okay, what's the update? What's going on?
When they picked him up, they took him to Henderson facility to get transported. He's gonna be transported in the morning. I did just get off a call with him, and he's doing all right. We have good faith that this is all gonna be debunked. I best believe we will win this case because it's all BS. It's all.
So that's his that Loose Cannon wife right there, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, basically I just wanna say Loose Cannon really don't stand a chance. And like if you're gonna be standing there for him, like you might be standing there forever, baby. That's all I can say to you.
hearsay. There's no actual facts. It's based off of a podcast interview. At the end of the day, they have no evidence against my husband. They can say what they want to say, and they got nobody testifying against my husband.
You gotta be careful what you say in public on a podcast too.
And I know that for a fact because I have the paperwork.
While Luce keeps the faith, Big U sees the RICO case from a way different angle, and it's looking like he's not planning to take the fall quietly. Loose Cannon, 600, and Whack 100 are all being blamed for the heat coming down on the gang right now. These three have been way too loud, spilling street business all over the internet like it's entertainment. Loose Cannon especially is catching heat for being labeled a snitch. Even Adam22 and his No Jumper podcast are getting dragged by fans, folks saying they've been letting guests self-snitch for years. It's gotten so bad, people are accusing Adam and his crew of working with the feds. And here's the kicker, the No Jumper podcast actually got name dropped in the indictment. Big U, while literally on his way to turn himself in after the feds dropped the hammer, called out three names: Loose Cannon, 600, and Whack 100, all regular faces on the No Jumper platform. And honestly, Big U might have a point.
When they raided my houses and my property, it was actually about Whack. Whack, Loose Cannon, 600, and this internet stuff.
So, like for me, I think he did that to himself, bro. Like everything that's coming down on BU right now, bro. Brick Baby, Loose Cannon, all of them. That's coming down on them because of what they did. Like it's a thing of life, y'all, called cause and effect. Cause and effect. If you do this, it's gonna happen. Just like when Drake dissed Kendrick, then you got the result. It's cause and effect, y'all. That's all I'm saying, man.
All of y'all five. All of y'all who be sitting around the internet, all y'all who be promoting and listening to what these saying.
Loose Cannon sat down with No Jumper and made some wild accusations, claiming Big U was tied to the murder of Nipsey Hussle. The interview was up for a moment, but later got pulled from YouTube. But the damage already done.
And I'm on a phone, he FaceTimed me. So he FaceTimed me and stuff like that. He was like, Nipsey just got killed. I'm like, 6 I didn't hear that. So I hang up with him. I called Nipsey, and I'm like, Nipsey, what's up? He was like, oh, what's up with it? Like,
so how you talk to Nipsey?
Loose said there was a whole setup behind Nipsey's death. He claimed Big U called him just 30 minutes before the shooting.
But how you talk to Nip and then said, like, this is the part that made me think everything cap. How a nigga call you and let's say somebody call me and say, hey, your mama dead. And then I call my mama and my mama alive. Like, that's like, I don't get that one. That right there, that I don't feel that one. He called you 30 minutes before Nipsey Hussle got killed. How you know there's even time to call? 30 minutes. How you know the time to call before Nipsey Hussle got killed? That mean that you probably was in on the shit too, dog. Like, hold on. All right, y'all, give me a second.
Luce said he was so stunned, he immediately rang up his cousin, Nipsey, who actually picked up the phone. But then, just 30 minutes later, Luce says he got another call. This time, someone told him Nipsey was dead.
So after I talked to Nipsey, and I was like, yeah, I love you, cuz, or whatever like that, I'll see you later, or whatever. So I hung up the phone. I thought, Big U gave wrong information. 30 minutes later, the homie blowing me up like they just killed Nipsey.
It was March 31st, 2019. Nipsey Hussle was shot at least 10 times outside his Marathon clothing store in LA and was pronounced dead at 3:55 p.m. The official story pins it on Eric Holder Jr., But Luce made it sound like something way deeper was going on. So here's how the official story goes. Eric Holder Jr. confronted Nipsey over street rumors that Nipsey had called him out for snitching. After getting pressed, Holder left, grabbed a gun from his car, came back, and shot Nipsey dead. 2 other men got hit in the chaos, but survived. Holder was later found guilty of first-degree murder, 2 counts of attempted voluntary manslaughter, and 2 counts of assault with a firearm. He got hit with 60 years to life. But when Loose Cannon started talking, the streets got a different version, and it sounded like a full-blown setup. He claimed there was a deeper plot to take Nipsey out. Even Charleston White backed that up, saying Big U was the real mastermind.
Big U had Nipsey Hussle killed. Everybody know that. Everybody know Big U called and hit.
According to him, jealousy ran deep in the Rollin' 60s Crips. Nipsey had grown too powerful, too loved, too influential. The youth rocked with him heavy, and that made him a threat. So they got rid of him.
They was really jealous of Nipsey Hussle, homie. All the big homies in the set was jealous of Nip, because all the young love Nip.
Hey.
So Nip had got bigger than the set, cuz. Nip.
Hold on. We gotta get DJ Vex. What's up, DJ Vex? I think I hollered at you before, man. I think I hollered at you before, bro. But shout out to DJ Vex. Y'all follow his channel too, man. If you got some content going on, man, follow this dude.
Connect to Nip. Nip ain't got bigger than the set, cuz. Nip ain't nobody bigger than the set, cuz.
And Luce wasn't done exposing things either. On No Jumper, he dropped another bombshell. That Big U once set up a robbery at a weed dispensary. Luce says he was the one who actually carried it out. But here's the twist. After the robbery, Big U invited the dispensary owner back and returned part of the cash. Why? It was all part of Big U's play, showing them who really ran the streets. According to the feds, this wasn't just some random act. It was Big U's whole operation, shaking down businesses under the disguise of protection. As long as you paid the Rollin' 60s boss, your spot was safe. Classic mob tactics.
We go and do something, and as soon as we do it to, show up to the house like 10 minutes later when we trying to, counting everything, right? And we be like, how do they get that? Oh, well, we're going to just give them like $40,000 back and stuff like that. But because it's actually putting us in paperwork, right?
But Loose Cannon wasn't the only one exposing the game. Whack 100 started getting called out too. Brick Baby, who also got caught in the same RICO sweep, accused Whack of working with the feds. Everybody's pointing fingers and the streets are saying too much.
Whack a snitch. Whack is a cop working. If you notice, every time something happens in the street, like with the Quando Rondo situation, how do you know so much about like, I don't even know that much about that. You talk about he done robbed him and did this, like, how do you?
But he's saying all of that, but he was the first one to say, you can't slide for Vaughn no more. And after that, Lil Durk got locked up. Then come down the pipeline, you get locked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, hey, it is what it is, bro.
Notice unless you getting police reports.
Here's the thing. Whack 100 didn't really know the full story behind Quando Rondo's case. He thought the whole shootout was just a drug deal gone sideways, not retaliation for King Von. That slip-up had folks suspicious, real suspicious.
We all thought that was a bad drug deal, weed deal. You know that. The world thought that shooting was a bad weed deal between some Armenians or Persians. That's what the world thought.
So
ain't nobody thought that, bruh. They thought that shit was a hit, bruh. Like, I don't give a fuck what Wag said, bruh. They thought that was a hit on Quando, but they didn't kill Quando. They killed that. They killed his homeboy. You know what I'm saying?
much so, World Star Hip Hop even dropped a now deleted video accusing Whack of working with the feds.
Went to my favorite hip hop platform, World Star Hip Hop, and I got some bad news. Found out that my big homie was talking to the cops.
Who's that? Who, me?
What do you think I should do to
That thing Whack, bruh. What do y'all think? I should put a, let me see. Let me see if it started up something. Let me see. Oh, my bad. My bad. I got started back up, y'all. Give me a second. No, I got started over. Not started over, but I got you. Hold on, give me a second.
Who's talking to the cop?
Whack fired back saying, "Who, me? What you think I should do to you? Who's talking to the cops?" But now, the script flipped. Whack 100 is putting Brick Baby on blast, accusing him of snitching on Lil Durk and helping bring down OTF. And once you trace Brick Baby's online moves, Whack might actually have a case. During a podcast with Adam22, Whack claimed he had inside sources saying Brick Baby had been cooperating with the feds.
So you think that he's a federal informant?
I think he's definitely working.
Especially after that mysterious federal pickup. "I think he's definitely working," Whack said. And the timeline is sketchy. Months before Lil Durk and other...
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, this the part I got. You know what I'm saying? To put the interject in this thing. He locked up. So if he like if Brick Baby locked up, Loose Cannon locked up, Big U locked up, you the only nigga free.
OTF members were taken down. Brick Baby's house got raided by federal agents. Here's where it gets real weird. Brick got scooped up by the feds and had to be bailed out by Adam22, but he was never charged. And Whack says that's a red flag. How does a known gang member get picked up and just walk away with no charges? Something's not adding up. Then, months later, Whack revealed what he believes really happened. Brick Baby, according to him, got jammed up for running his mouth on a podcast.
It wasn't until February of 2023 that Brick Baby goes on the internet with Flacco and says, out of nowhere, the world is oblivious to this. I guess they can't say OTF didn't slide for King Von anymore.
While talking with Poetic Flacco, Brick dropped some heavy claims. He said people shouldn't act like Von's death wasn't avenged, because OTF allegedly took out Quando Rondo's cousin.
They say you can't say that no more.
Why?
Yeah. They said they can't say that no more. And he said that on live. He said that on and then Durk get locked up. Come on, man.
Looks like we actually have multiple Kendrick features, but this is the one that people are already sending me.
What credit is the one everybody?
Oh, damn.
I think he's sending it to me.
And everybody hyped, they losing their mind.
Oh yeah, because of no. Like who died?
You can't say that no more.
Oh, because of FBG Cash? Oh who?
Nah, cause Lil Pop.
And that one line might have triggered a whole federal move. Whack claims the feds pulled a warrant right after and came knocking, not for drugs or weapons, but for Brick's phone. They believed it held key information about the alleged plot. So if Whack's right, Brick's truth-telling might have just lit the fuse on a federal case. Brick Baby never told the full truth. When Quando Rondo's cousin got taken out, Brick claimed he caught a gun charge, but never mentioned that the feds had actually come for his phone. And here's the sketchy part. He was never charged. No court date, nothing.
March, the feds get on Brick. We don't know this. we're under the presumption that it's an AK-47 case. But what really happened was they came there to get his cell phone.
That's wild considering Brick's a felon and a known gang affiliate. A gun charge should have had him locked up instantly. But according to him, the DA dropped it for lack of evidence.
But why would the DA reject the charge?
It's not they rejected. They just is not enough evidence for them. They got to look at the case and say, can I beat this in trial?
Yeah, nobody's buying that. Then came Dirk's indictment. WAC 100 stepped back in and dropped a bomb. He claimed the feds wanted Brick's phone because they believed he was working with OTF on the day of the shooting. Allegedly, Brick helped feed the hitman Quando Rondo's location.
If you go in there and look at that report, number 4 is a local guy that was dropping Quando's locations.
WAC says that after the hit, the feds straight up told Quando that his own people, the Rollin 60s, set him up.
Which?
That's crazy.
So, AR app, right?
What you think the police told Quando?
That the Rollin 60s set up.
Turns out, Brick Baby and Quando were both claiming the same set. And when Quando touched down in Atlanta, he checked in with his crew for protection.
What was he claiming?
Rollin 60 script.
Where Brick Baby from?
Rollin 60 script.
Who you think he checked in with?
Rollin 60s.
With who?
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
After everything went down, he realized they left him hanging.
Yeah.
That's why Quando hit social media, disowning the gang, feeling betrayed and exposed. But all this podcast truth-telling just added fuel to the fire. Loose Cannon and Big U were already under the spotlight, and it turns out they brought a lot of it on themselves. They weren't just running the streets. They were documenting it like a reality show. Loose Cannon posted a video of himself beating down a guy who talked to his baby mama. And Big U? He was caught on camera extorting a film crew, warning them not to shoot in the neighborhood unless they paid up.
Anytime you want to do movies in the hood, just check it in. We can make sure it's done. Movies, video. But if you don't check it in, oh well. We're gonna check you in, all right. We're gonna check in all of your equipment.
And now the internet's got the receipts. You already know the comment section is going crazy. Imagine extorting your own people who just trying to do something positive, and then filming yourself doing it, one commenter posted. Another joked, yeah, whatever they said Big U did, he definitely did that. And someone else took it up a notch, saying, Big U should have met DaBaby. He don't play by those rules.
What's happening?
Hey, the baby came out here to Atlanta and told them folks, bro, I ain't gotta do nothing. What?
They were talking about that moment when DaBaby got confronted by some local goons at a music video shoot in East Atlanta. These dudes rolled up, demanding to see a so-called permission slip to film in their hood. But DaBaby? No, he wasn't about to get punked. He stood on business and made it clear he wasn't signing anything.
Made it clear. No permission slip. Nowhere.
Hey, I ain't gonna never check in. Hey, I'm
Check in where?
Later in an interview with Vlad TV, DaBaby revealed that those goons were lucky it didn't escalate. In his words, their God was on their side.
So you're shooting this music video in East Atlanta, and you're not from there.
No, I'm for sure.
Right. And a bunch of guys from the neighborhood show up and ask you for a permission slip. Did you feel that it could have gone wrong?
Hey, God was on their side.
He wasn't bluffing either. DaBaby's known for not backing down. Remember, he once shot and killed a man in a Walmart and walked away free, claiming self-defense, even though footage showed he might have been the one pressing the issue. But Big U isn't the only one tied up in a RICO mess. Just like the Rollin 60s boss, another high-profile gang figure had to surrender himself, Casanova.
Going in, baby, I love you like cook food. I'm a whole gangster. Tough. I see you soon. I love you like cook food.
Back on December 1st, 2020, the feds swooped in and arrested 17 members of the untouchable Guerrilla Stone Nation gang. And just before Casanova turned himself in, he pulled a move straight out of Big U's playbook. He filmed himself talking to the camera, knowing what was coming. Just hours before Casanova turned himself in, prosecutors from the Southern District of New York issued a federal warrant for his arrest. They weren't playing. He was named as a leader of the untouchable Guerrilla Stone Nation, along with 17 other members. And the indictment sounded like a movie script. But for Casanova,
Hey, do y'all think the same thing gonna happen to Lil Baby in Atlanta? Like, that's what I do want to know. Do y'all think that? Get in the comment section, let me know.
this wasn't just a crew. They were being called a full-blown criminal enterprise with ranks, rules, and a network stretching from New York all the way down to Florida. The list of charges was heavy. Racketeering conspiracy, drug trafficking, firearms possession tied to drug activity, you name it. Authorities say the gang was deep in everything from selling narcotics to brutal assaults and even murder. Casanova, according to the feds, used his fame and street image to boost the gang's reputation. His music and social media weren't just for show. They were tools to keep the gang's name ringing in the streets. He was staring down life in prison if convicted of the racketeering conspiracy alone. At first, Casanova stood tall and pled not guilty, but that didn't last. On May 11th, 2022, he flipped, just like 12 other members before him, and admitted guilt to racketeering and drug charges. He confessed to being part of a shooting at a Florida party in July 2020 over a gambling beef, a robbery in NYC in August 2018, and moving over 100 kilos of weed. Meanwhile, Loose Cannon, Brick Baby, and Big U are probably wishing they never touched a camera or mic. All that internet clout, not worth it now. But it's not just the Rollin' 60s getting hit with the fallout. Another set, OLOC, snitched on themselves too. Now 5 of their members are lined up for life sentences. On October 13th, 2020, the feds made their move on OLOC, raiding the crew and arresting 5 men for the murder of FBG Duck. The names? C-Murder, Kenny Mack, Lost, C-Thing, and Muoff. They got hit with murder, racketeering, assault with a deadly weapon, and unlawful firearm charges. And these weren't light. The charges came with a mandatory life sentence. FBG Duck was gunned down in broad daylight at Michigan Avenue and East Oak Street in Chicago's upscale Gold Coast. Just weeks before, cameras caught the moment a black vehicle pulled up, men hopped out armed, and opened fire while Duck tried to escape. A gray Chrysler, also tied to the hit, sped off after, leaving Duck lifeless on the sidewalk. The case sat cold until gang members got a little too comfortable online. On video, they admitted the real reason behind the hit.
Yeah, online.
They suspected one of their dead homies. T-Roy, in his track Dead Bees, released just a month before Duck was killed.
Like everything like that. I don't know. Okay. All I know, don't say that about Troy or Duck. You know, don't say about Troy. That's it.
At first, folks thought it was King Von who put the green light on Duck for dissing his fallen friend. But then FBG Buddha shocked everyone on Vlad TV, saying it wasn't Von at all. It was Lil Durk allegedly tied to the whole thing. Buddha even claimed Durk was about to fly out some of Duck's alleged killers on a private jet just before the feds swooped in.
I don't think Von paid them guys. I'm sorry to tell the world. Them boys got snatched at the airport on a private hangar. Von is dead, right?
Okay, well,
how? Because he's paying for a jet.
Now, those 5 OLOC members are locked up for life. No second chances, no appeals that matter, just prison bars from here on out. So the question is, will Loose Cannon meet the same fate? That story's still unfolding. If you made it this far, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more breakdowns just like this. And as always, I'll catch you on the next one.
Hey man, y'all killing me in the Karma Cafe. I want y'all to like, subscribe, share, hit notification, and peace and one.